Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
Hey everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdown. My name is Brett Johnson and I am your host. This is episode 20 of a podcast where I talk with other artists, musicians, and songwriters about a song they've written that's particularly meaningful to them, and we try to get deep into the why behind it. Today I'm going to be talking with the band Unstable Shapes about their song, The Local Spinx. So let's get into it. Here is The Local Spinx by Unstable Shapes. All right, and that was The Local Sphinx by Unstable Shapes. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Andrew and Mitch to talk about the song. Stay with us. All right, and we're back. So let's bring in Andrew and Mitch from Unstable Shapes to talk about the song, The Local Sphinx. Hey, guys, thanks for taking some time today to talk with me about the song.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, happy to do it.
So tell me about it. What's going on with the song? What record's it on? Tell me about Unstable Shapes. Why did you want to talk about this song?
I mean, we have this. So this song just dropped. It's our second single. We don't have a full length album done yet. We're still working on it, but I think it's kind of a special song for us. Because I still remember like Mitch basically sent us this demo that he recorded, and like he had never really done that before. Like we'd just done.
That
His,
was the Glass Ladder, actually. I think that I sent that demo.
oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, different song. You're right. Yeah. So Local Spinx. I can't remember like how did we start this song, Mitch? Like how did you like did you
Yeah.
just come into practice with the riff?
Yeah. So I have like a ton of riffs that I've recorded over the years. And I presented a riff that I thought was really cool. It's the verse riff. It's it was just that initially, and I don't know. I don't think anybody really was that into it at the time, and we just shelved it for pretty long, like I don't know, a year or so. And then we were like, okay, we need to work on some more songs. Let's dive back
Yeah,
into
we're
some.
like we're really good at like, oh, there's a riff. Cool. We'll come back to it eventually. And sometimes eventually is a week and a half. Sometimes it's a year. Like it does take us a while sometimes to get back to stuff. But I don't think anyone was like cold on it. I think like we're just we're five busy dudes, and like sometimes practices aren't as lengthy as maybe we might like them to be. So we don't always get back to the thing that we want to as quickly as we'd like to maybe.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a, a, a good summary of it. We write pretty slowly. Um,
I would say to be put a finer point on it, I think we're slow to get to songs, but I think once we get our hands into them, I do think we tend to write pretty quickly because like I feel like this song, like I feel like the lyrics came together really quickly, and that really only can happen if the song comes together pretty quickly. Like I don't know, Mitch, do you really feel like it like it took that long? I feel like this song like once we actually worked on it in earnest, we probably banged it out in like three practices, don't you think?
yeah, probably. I mean, there was like the first one where the first iteration of it, where it was kind of, I don't know, had a different vibe, I think, um, before we shelved it. And then when we revisited it, yeah, I think we kind of like approached it differently. And then I think after that first practice where we revisited it, I sat around at home and tried to come up with some different parts for it. And I think that's where I came up with like the chorus bit. Or maybe I'd had that put together already by the time we revisited it. That's probably what happened because that would make us like that would make sense for us getting like more amped up about it again because we'd have, two parts ready. Um, yeah, then I think it came together pretty quickly after that. Like
I'm
kind of
trying
Got
to
like
it.
remember, Mitch,
James
was
and
this
Ryan.
song, what was the week, like every song has kind of a working title. Was this Adams? Is that what this song was called when we
Yeah,
first started it?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, you're right. So yeah, this was a song that and you're right. It kind of had like, I remember when we first started it, like James was kind of playing something on the drums, and it kind of had this like um in Rainbow's era Radiohead vibe to me. That's what I kind of was feeling like. It kind of had this weird like jazzy thing, which I kind of liked, and that's not really there in the final song.
no, not at all.
But you could, yeah, but like you're right. Like when we first started it, I don't think it wasn't that we weren't feeling it. It's that I think we didn't know which direction to take it in, and then we had another song that we were writing at the same time, and that just seemed to go a lot quicker, which I think was Glass Ladder. I think,
That's
and
probably right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and so I think we just kind of like it's not that we weren't into it. It's just like we just like this other thing was going so quickly. Like we just worked on that, and then it took us a while to get back to the Local Sphinx. But like I don't know, man. I think the Local Sphinx is one of our best songs. So like
oh
it
yeah,
definitely wasn't like a disinterest in the material. It was more like we just had a thing that was coming easier. So we just worked on that and then came back later. But yeah, now that I remember that's what we used to call it, it makes a little bit more sense that like we were like, what do we do with this?
yeah. It just wasn't really the right time, I guess. I don't know.
Got it. So
Maybe
is
we could
this
have
the
Yeah.
put more time.
second single? Is that what you said? This is the second song you guys have released as a band?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one is Glass Ladder, and that was one that I just like. I bought a bass like a cheap bass. I got a really good deal on like a Squire jazz bass just to like mess around with, you know. Um, and, it's nothing special, but for somebody who doesn't play bass, it was fine. And yeah, I sat down and was just, you know, playing around with stuff, and I don't really know how to self-record that well. I was just messing around with GarageBand, and I came up with something and sent it to the guys, and they were like, "Oh, this rules." And then we wrote Glass Ladder like the next practice. Pretty much
Got it.
finished it like right away.
And again, the
Yeah,
band
it's
is
kind of
from
cool.
Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. And I don't know anything about you guys. So, Mitch, what do you play? You're a guitar player, or you play
Yeah,
bass in the
yeah.
band?
Sorry. Yep. I play guitar in the band.
Cool. Andrew, what do you do?
I'm the vocalist.
Got it. Who else is in the band?
Ryan Jarosik also plays guitar, and Kevin Hurley plays bass. He's in another band called The Great Went.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
kind
I've
of
heard of them.
yeah, more post rock kind of thing. And James Taylor plays drums. He's in Lamar, which is very different sound than us.
Got it. Cool. And how long have you been a band? So, when did the band come together?
Late
That is a
2019.
complicated story. So Mitch and Ryan and I have known each other for what, like a decade?
At
Probably
least,
longer
yeah.
than that at this point. Yeah, and you know, and none of us had really been doing any music stuff, like really. And like I was doing stand-up comedy for a decade, and I just got burnt out on it. But I still had all this creative energy and like wanted to do something. And then like we went and saw Massive Attack in concert. I think it was on September 11th, maybe, or right about there in 2019. And we all, the three of us, were just kind of like just like vibing, like just kind of feeling some kind of creative energy from that. And we were just like, we should start a band. And it seemed like a crazy idea because it's like we just hadn't done anything like that in a long time. And then we just decided to give it a shot. And that would have been like end of 2019. And then I met Kevin and I kind of enlisted Kevin. He was kind of like my first and only choice for bass player, really. And they didn't know Kevin. I just was like, hey, you should come practice with us. That would have been very beginning of 2020. And then
Yep.
COVID happened. And like, so we just kind of put it on the shelf for about a year and a half, Mitch?
Yeah, so like
20
when we first like started messing around, you and Ryan and I, we came up with some things that maybe if we would have worked on them longer would have turned into something. Who knows, maybe we'll revisit them again someday. And write a song that we all love. But we were kind of just like stuck spinning our wheels, and then
Yeah.
Kevin came in, and that's when we like really started going, like wrote like our first real song. And then as we were like, starting to feel good, gaining some confidence about this, then COVID happened and we didn't do anything. Um, and
And we
my
didn't have a drummer at this point either. So it was
Sure.
like,
no,
we got to find a drummer. So like that was the other tricky part too.
yeah. And then like in August of 2020, so during COVID, my wife was pregnant and we had a baby, but she was born 3 months prematurely. So like I wasn't taking any risks at all meeting up or writing
Sure.
for a pretty long time. Like we didn't really do anything at all until 2021. And like I think June of 2021 is when we started practicing again. And that's when James got brought in.
Yeah.
And
Was it
yeah,
2021 or 2022? Yeah. It feels like, I think it was 2021, but it was a long time. It was like a year and a half at least.
yeah,
And yeah. And then James was a guest on my podcast and we just hit it off. And I was like, hey, do you know any drummers? And he was like, well, I'm a drummer. And I sent him like one of the songs that we had demoed, the four of us, and he was like, "This is exactly what I want to play on." And then we just joined up. So then we just jammed out in our practice space for like another like year and a half.
yeah. And there were
We
big
played our
delays
first
here and
show.
there, like
That's true. Yeah,
eventually like everybody kind of took turns getting sick here and there.
Sure.
yeah,
I We had some breaks because of that. Some people went on vacations. Like having a baby, babies get sick all the time. So like we weren't able to practice for bits here and there. So it was like really slow rolling. But yeah, then we finally, I don't know, James was really, I think, kind of the missing puzzle piece that kind of, tied everything together.
Yeah.
Got it. And when did
Yeah,
James
because
solidify the lineup then?
Yeah, that was June 2021, I think.
Cool. So you guys been in this formation with this group of dudes for the past almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. And performance-wise, what have you guys done? Are you out there playing all the time? Do you have a body of work? Are you touring regionally or doing anything like that? Or is it really just you guys are focusing on this as your second single and kind of incrementally in that stage?
Yeah, so we started playing shows. Our first show was February 3rd of 2023.
Okay.
Um, that was the first show that I have ever played in my life. I wasn't in any other bands before this. So it was really weird playing on stage, like playing songs that, I wrote on stage for the first time at the age of 36.
Sure.
Um, and I mean, Andrew, you've never sang in this way in
I
front
mean,
of
that's
people.
not since like high school, yeah, or college, yeah. I mean, that was 20 years ago. But like, I didn't. I mean, I did stand up for 10 years, so
Yeah,
stand up. I was on stage. I mean, maybe 7 minutes at a time, but I was on stage 3 to 4 times a week. But it's also a different vibe because stand up's a very like it's like a solo sport, and playing in a band obviously is a much different experience. So in some ways it's much easier because like I don't have to be the focal point all the time, so I can let Mitch or Ryan do something interesting on guitar, and I can take a step back. But it was really weird that first show because I mean we played at the 331 Club in Minneapolis, Northeast Minneapolis, which I
Yep.
think we all really love that spot, and it was like a packed house. Because I think part of that is just because there was some anticipation with us because a lot of our friends had heard us talk about this band for the last year and a half,
yeah,
and they wanted to finally like see the rubber meet the road, and then they came out. But like it was just a full show in general, and I think a lot of people were like surprised that it was our first show, and I was like, well, yeah, because we've been practicing for a year and a half, so like we're not like we're not loose, we're pretty tight given that it's our first show because we just had time to really make sure everything was good.
yeah,
But that was it was definitely a wild experience playing your first show like at a packed 331 Club. I mean, it was cool.
yeah.
No, that's
Also,
awesome. So
we
since
played with
February, what have you guys been doing since then? Has it just been focusing on writing in the space, or have you played a handful of shows since February?
it's been about a show a month
Okay.
since then.
Yeah, we try to
Um,
keep it like that. I mean, I'd play a show every week if we could, but like men of a certain age, that's not realistic. Um,
yeah, I
so
mean, like
uh,
3 of us in the band are married, 2 of us have kids,
yeah,
5 people with different schedules. It's not easy to play that much. And I think we kind of want to avoid like too much oversaturation too.
yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I think, and so yeah, so we play about a show a month, and like but we still keep writing. I mean, we're writing to make a record, a full length, which we're almost done writing. Um, so that I think is the goal. But it's kind of fun because I mean, like we know a lot of people in the scene now. Like I knew a bunch of people just from like knowing people for the last 15 years I've lived here or whatever. But now to be able to like make connections with people and people have been asking us to play shows. We have to turn them down just because we're busy with other stuff or whatever. But it's very like flattering, frankly, some of the requests that we've been getting. So we don't take it lightly or anything like that.
No, that's cool, man. And I'm glad you guys are working on more music. So is the idea then you're incrementally putting out singles until you have this full length done, and then is your plan to actually compile it in some sort of format and release it as a sort of a whole record kind of thing, or is it just going to be the kind of string of singles?
yeah, I mean, we definitely want to release it as, an LP.
Yeah,
But we're we've recorded 4 so far, and we've been releasing those like, I don't know, once a month. And I'm
yeah,
hoping
yeah.
that
That
we
sounds right.
finish recording by the time we run out of those so that we can release the whole thing without a huge gap in between. And I don't know, we've talked about it a little bit, but I think we're planning to have it pressed, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think our tentative plan is we have like 2 or 3 more songs we just need to finish writing, and one of those is pretty close. But I think, we're hoping to get back in the studio probably in the next month and a half or so and finish this.
Yeah.
And then I don't know that we have plans for further singles. We might, I mean, depending on how those recordings turn out. But like, yeah, I think ultimately the goal is to take what we have and then press it on some wax. As to who does that and when, that obviously is a little up in the air. Just things not recorded yet, but I think that is the goal. I mean, we're all vinyl collectors ourselves. James is a vinyl DJ, for crying out loud. So we definitely have a value for the physical object and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure we have something that people can hold in their hands and look at and really dig into. So I think that is the ultimate goal. As to when and how that happens, that's a little down the road, but hopefully not too far down the road.
No, that sounds good and it makes sense. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and find out what you guys are working on next, be it in this band or in other ventures, whatever. We just want to hear what's going on. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back with Andrew and Mitch from Unstable Shapes. So, guys, what are you working on next? What do you have coming up for the band, or anything specific you're working on creatively in some other avenue that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the band is kind of our primary creative thing that we've got going on. I don't know, Andrew, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
You have your
like,
podcast.
yeah, I have a very silly podcast called Life Was Peachy, which is honestly like that's how we met James Taylor. And it's about new metal music, which Mitch hates, and
I
I
really
find
do. I hate it.
fascinating. I don't really love it, but I just find it like such an interesting topic to get into, and it's kind of fun because I've met a lot of interesting people through the scene. A couple of, at least one of your former guests on B-Side Breakdown, David Yarnstrom, has done it. Maybe some others. I think we might get John
Ian
McEwen on
do
there
it
too. Oh, Ian Prince has done it a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
and so yeah, that's really fun. Like, I'm kind of working on something with my friends back home in Iowa where I grew up, but that's I don't even know what the story is with that right now. It's kind of taking time to gel together, but
Sure.
it's one of the things that, like, some projects like take forever to get to the finish line, and then the last 2 feet happen in an instant. So I kind of feel like this might be one of those projects, but we don't have a firm details on that yet, but that's kind of coming along. It is very, very different from Unstable Shapes, especially vocally. So I joked that Unstable Shapes is my mad band and the other band is my sad band. But like, that's a ways away. So like, not anything you need to keep on your radar just yet.
Sure.
Yeah, we have a show. We just played, well, the time this comes out, we would have just played at 7th Street Entry, which I think, Mitch, you're somebody pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a dream come true for me.
Sure.
And I know for Ryan as well. I don't know. I assume for you. James and Kevin, I
It
think
is.
have
I mean,
both played there, so they don't really, no big thing for them.
yeah, it's different for me because, like, I didn't grow up around here. So, like, I mean, obviously I've lived here for a long time. So I think it's 17 years as of July. But, like, to me, like, it's sort of, First Avenue and the Entry are legendary in the abstract. Whereas for you guys, it's like legendary in reality.
Sure.
So for me, it's a little bit different, but like, I'm still very excited about it. Like, I think it's going to be a great show. It will have been a great show by the time this comes out, probably. But yeah, that's exciting. And then we're playing at Zora Darling, which is a really great new venue on March 15th. I don't know if the lineup is solidified on that, but I think Monica LaPlante is also co-headlining with us on that.
Yep.
So that'll be great. If you haven't been to Zora Darling and you're in the Twin Cities, like, you should check out that spot. It's really cool.
Is that this place that used to be the Red Stag on
Yeah,
the
it is.
Northeast?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
That's cool.
Mitch and Ryan and I saw Quicksand there.
Sure.
And I mean, that is a once in a lifetime kind of experience to see a band of that caliber in a relatively small, intimate place is really, really cool. So, we're kind of excited about the possibility, and obviously not that we shared the stage with them, but to like kind of be able to have that same opportunity is really cool.
I mean, hey, we opened up for the band that opened up for Quicksand. Because
That's true.
History opened up for Quicksand, and we played with them our third show.
Yeah, we're friends with those guys. I really love those guys. I hope we get to play with them again soon, because I think we all really enjoy their record. I think they're working on a new one, which is very exciting, and would love to. Anytime I can even just share space with Dave Yarnstrom and John McEwen, I just feel like that is a blessing upon me because I just love them so much.
Also, I feel like saying we opened up for the band that opened up for Quicksand is a very silly thing, and I recognize that. It's very
know,
much.
dude.
Yeah,
It's
man.
all
Like
good.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows Barack Obama. So
exactly.
Not a big deal.
No, but I feel what you're saying
really
about playing 7th Street. I mean, I grew up in Minneapolis, and I mean, yeah, Mitch, I'm excited for you that you finally get to play it. I first played 7th Street Entry in 1988 when I was 15 or 16 or something in a Sunday all ages punk rock matinee show, and it was super fun. But yeah, having played there, that was like always the legendary venue for me to play, and finally playing the main room at one point was huge for me as well. And it's cool that you're getting to kind of realize all those things. Good for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed. Maybe someday we'll be able to play the main room. Who knows?
Absolutely.
It is a really interesting thing. Like, I mean, we started this like I was 38 or 39 when we started this. And like, it is a different experience starting a noisy punk rock band in your late 30s than it is in your, your teens and 20s. It's a very different thing, but like, I'm finding it to be a very rewarding experience. A lot of people think that as you get older, like you can't do this stuff or life gets in the way. And I think you just got to make time for it. But like, if it's something you really want to do, like, I'm always amazed at the people that we know and can have like conversations with and relationships with that like you just wouldn't think is possible. So
sure.
I'm really excited and honored by what we've already accomplished, which, I mean, honestly, it's not like we're a lot, but it's still more than I think people realize you can do. And there's always more coming, right? As long as you keep at it and you put your heart into it, I think the possibilities are much bigger than people may realize. And,
yep.
And that if I could say anything to anybody, like if you're on the fence about starting something because you feel like you're too old, like you should do it anyway. Like Bukowski didn't get published till he was like 50. You know what I mean? Like, so like your life isn't over. And there's definitely like I definitely have a better perspective on things in my current age than I would have 20 years ago. So it's cool being able to do this stuff and feel like I'm not an old man at 42. It's invigorating in some way.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So then where is the best place for listeners to find you guys online? Do you have like a link tree, a specific URL, or is it all your Bandcamp or Instagram or something? Like, where's the best place for people to find you?
Instagram's probably the easiest place to go. It's got kind of connections.
Yeah. I think we have a link tree, and I think if you just go to unstableshapes.com, it actually points you to our link tree. But for all of the stuff like Instagram, that's where we're the most engaged. I think our Instagram does feed to Facebook, but like Facebook sucks. So, but yeah, Instagram I think is a good spot. By the time this comes out, both of our singles will be on the streamers, so check that out. But if you want to buy them on Bandcamp, that's cool. We appreciate it. Helps us fund making the recordings, but no expectations there.
Got it. And for Instagram, is it just at Unstable Shapes?
Yep.
And Bandcamp, unstableshapes.bandcamp.com?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Well, good. Well, everybody, if you're listening, go to Instagram, follow these guys, and buy their stuff on Bandcamp if you can. But Yeah, man. I super stoked for you guys and the shows that you have coming up. It's cool that you're making the connections you are, that you're fearlessly foraying into spaces that are new for you at what you think is late in life, even though I'm a decade older than you. But I get it. I
would say it's late in life. I'd say it's late to start something. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, right. I get it. I started acting 8 months ago, and that's terrifying, and it's super fun. So it's hard, it's scary, but it's also really rewarding to be able to just kind of put the fear aside and the old tapes aside that say, oh, you're too old. You can't start this now. You can't do these things now. And sure shit, you guys are out doing it. And that's awesome to hear and awesome to see. And it's cool that you guys are dropping the singles as you're doing it. And we'll look forward to your full length when it comes out. But yeah, everybody keep checking the streaming services for their singles as they drop. The next one is coming out February 16th, I believe. And hopefully this episode will be out before then. So that's not a past tense statement, if I got that right. But, thank you both for taking some time to talk with me today. And yeah, I wish you guys the best going forward.
Yeah. Thanks again for having us.
Thanks
Absolutely.
so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Three Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
All right, and that wraps up another episode of the B-Side Breakdown. I want to thank Andrew and Mitch from Unstable Shapes for coming along to talk about their song, The Local Spinx. Up next, I have the song Dynamite from the band Tragic Hands, and I'll be talking with Rich Horton. I'll give you a sample of that in just a minute. I want to thank Adam Coulong and Carrie Bozel for helping me put together the jingle you hear at the beginning and the end of this episode. In the background right now, you're listening to the Pink Motel track from the A&B team from the legendary skate video Search for Animal Chin by Powell Peralta. Thank you, Powell Peralta, for giving me permission to play this music on this episode. Please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be safe, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks.